fun stuff. I was having a thought, giving myself a little bit of time to stew on it. I gotta put a title on this one for DareDevil, Born Again, Season 1. The reboot of DareDevil on Disney. I wanted to talk about it for a hot second, because in general, I liked it. And a few important notes. What I notice about the series is that it gets, people are a little on the fence about it. There's a lot of writing flaws in the series overall. And I heard that there's, backstory reasons for that because the series had to be reshot, which I think you can tell. There's a whole lot of characters. There's a whole lot of these side characters that go nowhere. A handful of them go certain places, like Kingpin's got his main man. So like he's like the young guy who wants to basically be the Kingpin, but he doesn't know yet that the Kingpin is this criminal mob boss character, right? The most notable problem is that they decided to do the worst thing that all of these shows are fucking doing, which is to fuck you over on the action special effects budget by giving the character an existential crisis as an excuse to keep him out of a proper comic book fight scene, thus making it heavier on the fucking drama and investigation, which is fucking cheap to fucking make. So a lot of the series is kind of playing it safe, but it does it well, and there's a good foundation to take risks that are going to be based on perhaps listening to smarter people. So they gave the main character this whole existential crisis because his friend died, and then because his friend died, he almost killed the guy who killed him, which the problem is that not only did they do this, which he's already been through before, which is the whole excuse to get him less in the fucking suit, because they did that in they gave him a suit by the end of season 1 of DareDevil on Netflix, and then in season 2 of that Netflix series they pulled him out of the fucking suit. So it's ridiculous on its face. But I noticed that they almost, with the exception of one flashback, where, in the last episode, where he's just like, oh, I thought God took away my sight. Right? That's it. No, nothing deep about like, look, I got my thing about Catholicism, but when you know the nature and character and mindset, morals and ethics of an authentic, you know, Catholic, decent person, right? It's just a part of life. It's this character. This is part of this character's being, right? Is his struggle with the meaning of his faith, right? And they want to sweep that all under the bus or something, right? What does he? Is it because Thor exists? He's no longer Wait, and he was Catholic in season 1 of Daredevil. So the existence of literal gods in this universe means precisely Nick, right? Because in actuality, in the Marvel's comic book universe, therefore acceptable in the cinematic universe, which they would do anyway, is that there is all the gods, right? I don't remember how they discriminate, like, some of these gods, like Allah and all that stuff. But, there's all the gods. You mostly get to have fun with the pagan gods because pagan gods are pagan gods, and they've got all those limitations, right? They aren't a boring omni this and that being. They have their qualities, their agency, their situated place, right? So the way you do it with Catholicism in these strange times where our faith is not such a strong attribute anymore, at least that kind of faith, is that you remember things that that the church is supposed to be this institution to help us, give us a muse upon which we can understand the big God, regardless of all the other gods that actually exist, and asking ourselves the questions: what do we do with that pesky commandment about no other gods before me? Yada yada yada. So he doesn't go to a church at any point. He doesn't talk to a pastor at any point. He doesn't quote a scripture at any point. His faith is not present in the show. I wonder if Razor Fist has picked up on this, because I haven't seen him say anything directly about it, and I don't pay enough attention to X to catch all of his opinions on the matter. Because Razor Fist, he was making his whole shtick was this was these kinds of things, and I'm in agreement, right? And it's the question of how you do it without it being a loop. How do you change it up? Because let's just say that ultimately you want to say, like, okay, his general sense of faith through, him evolving within Catholicism has to change him in very interesting and profound ways. But because it's interesting the way all those things are in his process and analysis. When I'm looking at him making certain kinds of judgments based on what's happening and what he's hearing, what he knows in a situation. is, and it's amazing to see that play out without the need for sight as a factor. It changes your entire relationship with what you're doing, right? And especially if you've got better perception in general because your sight was taken from you, right? Because that's the thing with Daredevil. It's the idea that his gift is he loses his sight to have a more profound vision, right? Like, what happened to Daredevil is practically an Odinic sacrifice, except he went balls in and did both eyes. So, I mean, it's just like, why would you even take out the religious angle, right? I mean, like, they put White Tiger in for like an episode, and he does nothing but stand trial in court. It's just like, we don't get to see White Tiger in action. Why? It's just like, what did you do that for? What was the fucking point? You didn't want to give us one scene where, like, they fight. But whatever. So, White Tiger is a Hispanic character. I don't know if White Tiger in the comics is Catholic, but the Hispanic community, if you're trying to do that for the Hispanics, you may want to have some Catholic shit going on there, right? It's just like, this is easy street. This is easy street. Like, don't tell people that you're woke because you care about, like, Latinos, and then you don't fucking write a story that actually would appeal to them that way, right? It's just like, it's all these postmodernism problems, right? America is living on borrowed culture of its ancestors that has been shifted by our forefathers, being those who founded this country and thus raised in the culture inherent to this country, while living on the land and becoming a new kind of man who is of these lands, right? It's part of what makes the American. Whether they be some, like whatever their faith may be, that makes an American who is, transformed by the land. And I'm not that transformed. I mean, like, I live in the fucking suburbs, right? But I got my places that I can go and have gone and spend some time in as part of this context. So anyway, so Daredevil is Daredevil. Ultimately, it's well acted. It's at least by main characters. It's as a if you take it for a drama more than action for this season, then I think you'll like it. It gets into vigilante crime dynamics, because the part of the plot is Mayor Fisk manipulating the city in order to ban vigilantes. Because if you can ban vigilantes, He can be the kingpin and in control of the city that he is criminalizing without anyone able to stop him, because part of Kingpin's power is that he's not an Avengers level threat, and he's not a threat outside of New York City. And an outsider to New York City might see Wilson Fisk as mayor of New York as just fucking, like, cool. They may just fucking love it because it sounds like he's kicking ass. Unless, of course, you're divided on the particular issue of the vigilante, where part of his stopping of crime involves also stopping those who stop crime that is outside the reach of the police. Right? And you got characters like Punisher, who's an and will murder, like, good and innocent people. How long was that cut out for? Did all that make sense? Because I had to, like, maneuver through traffic. Anyway, I hate this bridge. It's too tight. Anyway. That little snafu lost me, like, all my viewers, too. I'm at 0. Alright. So the mayor Fisk angle is other people are criticizing it as just, villainizing Trump. I mean, yes. And also, who cares? It's well done. It's well done. Stop protecting people. Look, some attacks on your guy are fair game. I mean, Donald Trump has his mugshot hanging up in the White House, and people are complaining that the Mayor Fisk plot is a microcosm of their interpretation of what they think Donald Trump is doing to America. And they're just getting started, right? Because it takes the whole season. He ramps up power. He's, season 1 is him gathering power, right? This is what's fun. This is the trait of how Kingpin do. It's what was fun about season 2. Season 2 of Kingpin is what I enjoyed it because I loved watching them turn his situation in jail, where he just gets his life back, and now he doesn't have, like, prison. Now it's not a prison guard. Like, now the cops are protecting him like Secret Service security, because he built himself up as this asset. And so as this critical asset, he won all this shit in negotiation. All right, this is season 2 of DareDevil, the Netflix series, and he gets the armored limousine. He's just Kingpin in it. That's all. It's just like he tricked them into giving him his big boss fucking life that he had in season 1, and on even a grander scale. All because he was able to manipulate, I think, the FBI. Hey, Zilla Morels. Hey, how's it going, man? I told you to get a hold of me. You didn't get a hold of me yet, didn't you? See, I'm looking for an email. I leave my email on a lot of my videos. So you need to hit me up, man. All right. So anyway, yeah, the Kingpin. Yeah, the Kingpin is Trump, and so what? It's somewhat not wrong. I mean, look, it's gonna miss all sorts of information. It wants to have its own context, but at the same time, it's just a TV show, right? And people need to think and ask themselves, if I am drawing the conclusion that this is Trump, not am I stretching my imagination, but what are my real bias feelings about it? Right? Because just because you're so used to them pulling their dirty tricks doesn't mean you should be such a goddamn sourpuss, so why don't you enjoy some fucking entertainment you otherwise would? Because I'm just talking about a TV show. Alright. I'll catch you later.